In this video, I'm going to talk about the KPIs you would be working towards if you're working as a recruitment consultant. Chances are you're watching this video either because you are working in recruitment or you're looking to work in recruitment and you want to know what sort of targets and key performance indicators you're going to be working towards, and to obviously double check if the company you're working for is actually setting fair KPIs. Now, it varies from company to company. Some companies regard certain key KPIs as not necessarily necessary, some regard it as highly important. Now, a very controversial one I want to talk about first off is call stats, call time, and time on the phone, and the amount of calls you make. Now, I see many successful recruiters, you know, I would say even bill higher than me. Um, they potentially make less calls than me. It goes without saying, most people would think the more calls you make, the more money you make. Recruitment's obviously changed. If you send a mass mail out, you email 1,000 people and you wait for the calls back, and you schedule calls in with, let's say 5 or 10 people, you're only going to really make 10 to, 20 calls that day with some added calls coming in. Or, some recruitment consultants tend to call everyone on their list, call everyone that's applied. Chances are that won't necessarily get you, the ideal candidate. You could just be making endless calls here and there. I personally believe call volume, the amount of calls you make, does reflect on your billing. It just matters how targeted you are with it. But if you're being forced and you're put into a position where you're having to make unnecessary calls just for the stats, chances are you probably are working for a company that is very old fashioned, and they're not working with the times. There's a lot on LinkedIn and social media now, with candidate attraction as well as clients. Most of the clients I bring on board is through LinkedIn. It's not necessarily through actually cold calling, even though they say 80% of client acquisition is through cold calling. Another KPI, pretty obvious one, is the target you're set. Chances are you're set on a certain target you have to meet every month or every quarter, and that's pretty much a standard KPI that will probably never ever leave. Only certain companies I've heard of don't actually have targets, but there's probably some sort of ballpark figure. Another one is customer satisfaction, how well you talk to people, how well you talk to clients. There is potential to get feedback on that, and there's usually a mail out that goes out and say, how was the service? A lot of small companies, graduate roles, tend to focus a lot on that. They're pretty much the main KPIs, those three. The other ones are the fourth most important one probably is the amount of interviews scheduled, and the amount of CVs you send out. So if you're sending out a lot of CVs, it puts you under pressure. If you've got to hit, let's say, 20 CVs a week and 5 interviews, chances are you're going to send any sort of CV across, which puts the quality down. Would you rather send 10 CVs, or would you rather send 3 good quality ones, have 1 interview and 1 placement, or would you rather have 5 interviews for anyone and then pretty much no placement? So it's a no-brainer. If you're willing to obviously take responsibility for your actions and you don't need to be micromanaged, your bosses should see that. And they should give you sort of free reign in a company you're working for. And all in all, it's a better service for candidates. Recruiters get a lot of stick, and it's pretty much just based on what the bosses sort of implement on you. If you do want to be a quality recruiter, you have to find a company that allows you to be. If you have to make 100 calls a day and send 10 CVs across, chances are you're going to end up burning out, or you're going to just lower your standards and send out anyone and call anyone.